Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulphur Blade, and welcome back to War on the Sea and my playthrough of the Pacific Campaign mod. So this time we've loaded up the game, and we don't seem to have any fishing reports. Fishing trawlers reporting that they have sighted submarines today. That's the way I like to describe the quote-unquote bug, where sometimes a submarine shows up when you load up the game. And as bugs go, it's one of my favorites. I actually think that if they could find a way to make that an actual game feature, I'd be all for it. So submarines are a really tricky piece of equipment in this game that has been kind of tough for killerfish games to get, I don't know, the right balance on. There's different settings that you can set that you can customize by turning on sub visibility on the campaign map on and off, this and that and the other thing. So depending on how you have your settings set, and the vanilla campaign has changed several times on what the default settings are. I don't even know what they are at this point, if I have to be honest. I don't know what default submarine settings are for a campaign these days. But some of the changes have been from being able to spot them with planes to not being able to spot them with planes to, like, for example, this mod will start a submarine under the water during an air battle, I believe. Or no. Actually, I've seen my sub be on top of the water. This mod does something with subs in regards to making them start under the water for some reason, but subs normally in vanilla start under the water if ships are in the combat, so I don't know. But anyhow, back to the whole point of that bug. I like the fact that sometimes subs pop up on when the game loads. I like to think of it as intelligence. You've received intelligence about the spotting of a submarine somewhere. It's a nice feature. It's a nice feature when, in conjunction, your planes aren't spotting the submarines like they would on occasion in real life, because for game mechanic reasons you've taken away the player's ability to do that. Having this bug show a submarine pop up on unloading actually is kind of nice. In this particular instance, it was kind of nice because we found out that there's actually a submarine in the game. I was beginning to think there were none. That this game had the mod or whatever had basically shut off submarines completely for Japan or something. But we now know that's not the case, since we have sunk a sub, and since we've seen a sub that just appeared because of the bug being able to show us, hey, there's a submarine over here. So we went out and we hunted it down, or it hunted us down. So that is one of the problems with subs in the game, is they have terrible target identification. An ASW squadron like this, 3 destroyers out hunting submarines, I don't think a sub would actually engage them if they saw them. They would be like, oh, there's a hunter group. There's a group out trying to kill us. Their specialty is fighting us. Let's just ignore them. They're not really worth our torpedoes anyway. We're out here hunting merchants or bigger ships, right? So the AI chooses to engage our 3 destroyer squadron. The AI probably shouldn't choose to make that engagement. So that's something that Killerfish could try to work on, I suppose, is figuring out a way to keep subs from engaging ASW forces. That might be a nice fix to part of the problems. But I digress. Anyway, you don't want to hear me ramble about such things. You want to see me actually play the game. So let's get the time started and see how things end up today. I don't even quite remember what was going on. I don't think we had anything pressing going on. I think we got a little bit excited because of the submarine that we sunk over here that was sending off spotting planes. And we can probably remove these now that we sunk that sub. We have the shuttle back here. What are you guys doing? You have troops on board. Okay, so we'll unload. Sarong, I think we make one more trip back to Sarong. Actually, manage cargo. $12.60. And 800 would be 2,000. Yeah, that's fine. 2,000 will work. We're going to take one shipment of supplies and one only back to Sarong. And when we leave here, we're probably just going to ship one ship's worth of troops back out of here to leave it at one shipment of troops on these guys, about 800 troops, so that'll leave it at about 1,200 and 2,000 supply, which will be an adequate ratio for a garrison. Yeah, certainly with one of the newer mod updates, you can more fine-tune the amounts of things that you haul with the logistic ships. Definitely a nice new feature that they put into the newer version of the mods that I'm playing with, that I'm not playing with. And I'm not going to update because I don't update my mods in the middle of a playthrough because, well, anytime I've done that before, I've completely wrecked the series, and I've had to restart the series because, well, things didn't go well. So now I just leave the things well enough alone and continue on with the series. I don't adjust or update mods in the middle of a series. And at the same time, I don't want to update the base game either, if at all possible, to avoid it. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that hopefully we can actually make it to the end and accomplish the goals of this mission, which is a long time from now. God, I can only imagine how many episodes that's going to be. Is it going to be 200 episodes? Is it going to be 240 episodes? It's definitely going to be the most episodes in any Let's Play I've ever done. And I don't foresee us getting there, but it would be cool if we did get there. But if I'm being realistic about it, whereas the vanilla game, was long only because of they didn't have land combat worked out very well in the vanilla game originally, the first couple of times I played. So the land combat portion of the game was really dragging down the tempo of the game. Horribly so. Basically, you could completely eliminate all of the Japanese ships, and all that they would have left was merchants, and you still wouldn't have Guadalcanal, because the fight on Guadalcanal still wouldn't be ended. It would still be fighting. It would take, like, a stupid amount of time. You could sink the entire Japanese contingent of ships 3 times over in the time it took for one damn shore fight to end. Obviously, as we can see here in this particular campaign, the ground combat has felt very good. It's been very well timed. The ground combat feels right. It feels like it flows. It feels like it's natural. It feels like it fits with the rest of the pacing of the game. So I'm loving that about this mod, and just the scope, the logistical things we need to do. This is so much better than the base game was in the beginning. TTE, when I played my TTE playthrough way back, it still suffered from the base game's slowness in winning things, right? It still had problems with the ground combat in the TTE mod. But the TTE mod gave you more toys and more things to play with, and it was pretty cool. It was a step in the right direction. But this feels good. This feels like the game is where it should be pacing wise, right? I mean, there's certainly things that not necessarily the modders can do, probably more on Killerfish's side, on the base game side. There's still some things that could certainly be done to polish up the experience and make it better. But by and large, this is really good right now compared to what it used to be. Honestly, if there was a feature that I would focus on at this stage, as I feel like the game is in a very playable state right now, at least via how I'm playing it modified like this, Killerfish should probably think about making a lot of these settings that the modders have made as just being base game. Killerfish really needs to consider that. The ground combat in the base game, well, I shouldn't say this because I haven't actually played the base game in a while to actually know if what I'm about to say is accurate or not, but I'm assuming that the base game still suffers from having an out-of-whack ground combat compared to what we have here in this mod, because, well, we have all these settings in the mod that directly correlate and affect how the ground combat is working. And I think the mod has done a very good job of making ground combat feel the way it should feel. And Killerfish should just straight up copy it. All right. Manage? No. Manage here. One thing of troops. Of course. Back to there. But anyway, I was going to say the main feature that I would like to see Killerfish work on at this point, because of I feel like we have the meats and potatoes and the nuts and bolts in place, that it's time that I really would love to see multiplayer in this. I know that whenever somebody says multiplayer, a bunch of people get their panties in an uproar over multiplayer, because I don't know, there's some sort of multiplayer hate. people just get nuts about the mentions of multiplayers in quote-unquote single-player games. There's so many games that are multiplayer. Why do you need to take away my single-player experience? And I'm like, I don't want to mess with your single-player experience. I think this game is great single-player, but I totally envision this game being epic multiplayer. Could you imagine me facing off at, say, like It's Pat or Too Tall, or wouldn't it be awesome to be able to go up against Wolfpack 345, my channel versus his channel, in this epic head-to-head clash of two different players, two different human minds trying to conquer the theater? The unpredictability of the human experience in this game would just be so amazing. It would be awesome. Where the main problem of this game, I think, would be completely fixed with multiplayer. Because the main problem with this game is that the AI can't think as chaotically as the human mind. They do very computer things, like, well, let's set this course to go right through here in order to go to there. They get a bit, maybe, not narrow-sighted, but locked in at accomplishing certain goals because they only have so many variables in which they can adjust the AI parameters to think, to decide. And so even if they're not coming after Milne or Lay, maybe they're deciding to come for, I don't know, Horn. Well, do you think an attack on Horn would be any different than an attack on Port Moresby, or an attack on Lay, or an attack on Milne Bay? I think any attack on all four of these is going to be the exact same path of ships. It's going to come right along here, right through here, right through here, around the corner, and over to here to get to Horn. The same as if it was coming to Moresby, the same as if it was coming to Milne. The computer gets very tunnel vision, very set in how it sends out its courses, and the human being can so manipulate that, right? Like, I'm so focused here. I have a submarine specially locked into this little spot on the equator. It could be down here where it would make more sense, because that's where the ships have to come through a short little area of land, but I've got it up here. But it's the same difference because the AI isn't going, well, let's send this one over here and around here and go through here this time. Or the AI is not like, well, maybe we should hug the coast this time and sneak along the edge this time, just so that we're not, predictable and coming along the exact same path every time. That's where the human experience would make this game so much more interesting. Sorry. And I'm back into the rambling again. Well, I did have it on times 60, but it was nighttime. I should have had it at 600 at night. I normally have it at 600 at night, but I was rambling and talking about the human experience and how multiplayer would be amazing in this game. And I just think that's the case. I really think multiplayer would be revolutionary in this game. It would fix so many of the natural elements that this game's AI suffers from. It would be the ultimate AI. Granted, playing something like this against another player, that's a huge time commitment, right? this single player experience is going to take me, God, how many episodes to record this? And if I was to go head to head with another player, I'd have to know that they were, willing to show up at a certain time. We'd be able to coordinate the episodes. The whole logistics of that would be a headache. I think it would be worth it. Alright, let's go ahead. We should launch on the food. Oh wait, Milne's still suffering, right? Milne is still broken down and busted. It's fine. We're gonna still use the bow fighters, even if there's 3 of them. They still need to go out here and eat their food. Even if it's gonna be a bit harder to swallow, as there's less stomach to deal with it. What is this fleet? And why am I ignoring it? USNS Fleet 1. Unload all cargo. Milne? You can go to level 2 now. Well, that's one small step back towards being level 3. You just imagine, like, my shipping lanes here, going between Midway and Milne and Moresby. The human being would know I'm doing that. They would be so attempting to exploit that. In fact, I would have to I'd have to come up with variable shipping lanes. I know I'm really getting off on the edge talking about this. Like, I could send one through here and maybe cut up this way and cut up that way and go up that way and really vary the routes. Even though there's not a lot of space to vary the routes here, you could still do a lot of varying of the routes to get up there. Maybe do some zigzagging or whatnot. But against the computer, you don't have to do all that, because the computer is very, it plays like the computer. Alright, tactical, start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I won't be a part of it. I'm already in a Vic, what am I doing? Let's just speed up to 250, speed, and we're gonna drop down today. We want to put a rocket in the side of that transport. those transports are surrounded by blue. And I'm butchering this song. And everyone's wishing that I would just shut up and go back to normal commentary. So I'm gonna do that right now. I apologize to all of you. No, I got in a mood. Oh wait, no, this one's the tanker back here. Yeah, so you want to know what half the secret is to doing YouTube? Randomly muttering and saying the things that first pop up to you at the top of your head while you're playing a game. You too can YouTube. I mean, in the beginning, you're gonna be conscientious. You're gonna think about, am I gonna sound like an idiot or an asshole? At some point, you're gonna realize, you know, it doesn't matter if you sound like an idiot or asshole. Just say something and continue on. Alright, how did we do? Report, moderate, right. Okay, so warm up, line ahead. Those are some big flak explosions. Is this guy vanilla? Yeah, it's vanilla. So, I don't know what, I'm not sure what it is that makes vanilla ships so much more potent than the mod ships. I think that there's some special sauce that Killerfish has put in where it's more than just the number of guns on the ship, and it's more than just the fact that they're shooting from forward and aft. I think the actual shots themselves maybe have some sort of an HE effect where the mods, while they might want to be HE, are firing more like AP. Like they don't have the explosion variables or something going on. But it feels like a lot of the mod ships AI not AI. A lot of the mod ships AA just isn't anywhere near as effective as the vanilla ships. Oh, how often do you see that? Oh, and it got him. Flew right into that flak ball. Critical, heavy, moderate. I think we wait for him to sink at this point. Actually, I'm gonna do another strafe on this target. Wait, no, it was one that sunk. Huh. Okay. Grr, this isn't good. We'll give it a little more time. I kind of thought it was the other way around. We've done 2 passes on 2 now, and only the 1 pass on 1. But the one went down with the first pass. I think we're gonna have to give it more persuasion. That should have done it. Come on, game. Thank you. Food consumed. I just had a thought that crossed my mind, and that's the fact that these onesie twosie merchant ships, have kind of lost their value. What do I mean by that? I mean, the shipping lanes are open. We can't open the shipping lanes a second time or a third time or a fourth time. And the merchant ships themselves, they don't run out. They're infinite. So sinking these merchant ships have really lost any reason. The only reason, I guess, to sink merchant ships at this point is that they're actively loaded up with cargo and troops coming to invade one of my ports. But those types of merchant ships are going to be escorted. And they're going to be in a large group. These onesie-twosies we see floating around the ballpark, they're not so much as important anymore. Why am I mentioning this? Because I'm thinking that I don't necessarily need my submarines placed where they are anymore. I can send them out to hunt actual warships. I can release the hounds, if you will. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to put my subs on this path that we know warships actually travel. Alright, all the subs are being retasked. We're going to remove these boxes because they were really there just for purposes of knowing where I was going to have these subs patrolling. I'll leave these in just to show the shipping lanes, if you will. Alright, shuttle. I've emptied you. Now what do I do with you? What does Moresby have? we're gonna send the shuttle over to Moresby. An invasion force Australia. You have been unloaded. We're gonna reload you. Kind of have a supply issue here. Sending the troops with a poor supply ratio is just going to get them killed. But I've got all the extra troops compared to supply. Is that such a bad thing? No, I don't think we have the supply to support an invasion. We just don't. Okay? We don't. Alright, we're heading to Tarawa then. Just wanted to see what Midway currently has. We brought the carrier over here to support an invasion, but we're not going to have an invasion happening. That's fine. Darwin can loiter here for a while. It's a good place to have the carrier, I think. Enterprise is heading back to fill up her flight decks. Enterprise Task Force, that is. ASW Squadron? Really? Right, a burl. Break. All back. Mahan. Slow your roll. Kearney. Break. Flank forward. That pair of torps there. I don't think so. Well, that is definitely a torpedo. Or is that... I swear I just saw torpedoes there. Where'd they go? Am I imagining things? I swear I saw torpedoes. Yeah, right there. Well, that was one. They're coming all the way around. Mahan. Slow your roll. Boy, it's hard to see those torps in the water. They're right there. You're not at any risk, are you, Kearney? No, I don't think you are. Slowly come over that way. Mahan, straighten out. And again, those torps didn't show up on the minimap. Do not evade hazards. Do not evade hazards. No evading hazards for you either. This weather is not in our favor. No air. Sea state 6. Absolutely amazed we haven't found the contact. And with C-Sate 6, those wait. Am I seeing torps in the water again? No. Just seeing things now. Those torps could have been right at us and we would have... They could have possibly gone right underneath our keel. Alright, well, speed this up a bit. Alright, Mahan. We're gonna put you in a tight turn. You've got the best sonar here. Stop. Woo! I was about to give up. Alright, a burl. Speed 7 knots. Make your speed 7 knots. Hold contact. Kearney. Come up to 15 knots. Target 1. Attack. Kedai 3A. Interesting. We lost it. Are you kidding me right now? Back to 9 knots then? Rudder amidships, Mahan. How did we lose that contact? We were like right next to it. Just give it a little time. Alright, Kearney. Stop. Cease. Brake. Slow up. Even with the Mahan here, we can't seem to find it. Alright, do another tight circle, Mahan. Your turn. I thinking it's gonna get away. Did you see how close we were? I mean, we were right on top of it. And then it just vanished. With a burrow being, like, right behind it. Anyway, let's get back to max speed submerged 7 knots, huh? Well, our burrow's been going well past 7 knots. Now, to be frankly honest, if this was Sea State 6 in real life, we wouldn't be finding a submarine. That's for goddamn sure. The game, however, doesn't model Sea State 6 very well. When you look at that ocean, it doesn't, you know, look anything like what Sea State really looks like. Alright, I think we're gonna have to give up. We saw there was a sub there. We got shot at by torpedoes. We know it's out here. But there's not much we can do about it. We'll call that a draw. We have some food. No pay, new air. Bow fighters with rockets. Ignore. Getting to Ambon. Right. I would like that, but I think Milne Bay takes priority. Tag, please. Warm-up box. $57. $390. Target 2. Limited hits. Alright, neither of these are vanilla. They're both non-vanilla. So, I don't know if you see what I'm talking about here. See how these tracers are just straight on like lasers? They don't explode like HE. Moderate heavy, huh? both sunk. The sea lane's open. Supplies replenished at 2 times the speed. So I guess we didn't get double supply this time around, huh? Because that just triggered... No, I don't think we did. And the reason, and it also said supplies replenish at 2 times the speed, not engineering, not fuel. So that's making me think it's just supplies that's twice as many, not engineering and fuel. Actually, Haddock, I've changed my mind with you. I want you to come down here. I'm going to still use the subs more defensively, but for warships. I'm not so concerned with sinking the little whatchamacallits floating around here. Merchants. I think we're going to get another ASW task force out. I think the one that we have has made the case for having another. New Sea. American destroyers. Mahan. 1. What did we have escorting the Mahan? I think we were using Gleaves. Okay, SW Squadron 2. Send you down to Wake Island. I'm gonna actually have you do a perimeter around Wake, similar to how ASW Squadron 1 is doing a box around Khazre. We're going to keep saving the majority of the command points for Bogue class escort carriers coming on 30 July. So we're getting closer. Wish I could visually change the icon that's representing these guys. I would rather have them being displayed as a merchant instead of a destroyer fleet. I could make that happen by simply throwing in another merchant in here. But I'm not going to do that. Alright. That will be Finback's box. Drums box. More food. So yeah, that's vanilla. These should be vanilla shots here. Yeah, did you notice how they stop, they explode, and they leave that little black puff in the air? This guy is not vanilla. Now, as I pass over this guy, you know how I stop and I pause and I commit orders? And you see the stuff that's happening or that's being shot around the formation. We're going to note that this time when I'm paused, you shouldn't actually see any explosions. It should just be tracers is the only thing we see. No smoke clouds exploding, no exploding flak, just tracers. I don't even see any flak at this point. See, tracers. So I think that's the primary difference. Is vanilla is firing high explosive that actually is modeled, where I think the vanilla or the mod chips would love to probably model that, but they don't know how, I'm guessing, is the thing. Or maybe they're just happy firing armor piercing. Granted, I think a lot of people complain about the vanilla ships being too good at AA, so maybe the vanilla ships are doing it right. Maybe their ungodly AA potential, like the vanilla ships have the big AA potential, kind of offsets and makes the occasional combination of vanilla and mod feel like a good balance. If that makes any sense what I'm going on about here. Okay, retreat, leave, confirm. I don't know why I'm all hung up on AA today. Just seems like a talking point, I suppose. Just something to talk about. Carrier's back. Carrier's back. When you have points, they burn in your pocket. You want to spend them. I really shouldn't. I should be saving them for bogues. However, this escort, one could say it's a little light for 2 carriers. But I've been very happy with this escort, to be honest. I think there's something to be said about keeping the carrier fleet smaller than bigger. No. No, no. Save the money. This is fine. I don't need to throw more escorts in. Alright. What am I doing with you? I don't want to send you in a location where we've been seeing a lot of submarines. That makes sense in my mind. Probably not a good location to send you to. I'm gonna come down here. Cruise along the shipping lanes. I think we're gonna take control here while Milne is out of commission. Or, well, Milne is less capable than normal. And that'll leave the carrier in position for the next strike on Rabaul as well. I'm thinking the AI saw me sticking my carrier here often enough that it decided to send submarines in here to try to. That's not really that's not really how the AI plays though. Yeah, it doesn't react like that. It attacks bases. I don't believe. Well, maybe it has some sort of mission to target enemy carriers. I don't know. If you guys that do modding and stuff, if you're watching, is there some sort of mission that the AI does a roll at the beginning of the week to say, you know what, we're going to attempt to intercept or attack that enemy carrier we've been running into over there? And would they do it by means of submarine? Let me know if that's a real thing. All right, Pensacola, are you just sitting there? Rearmed ships? Is that why you're here? I'm assuming it is, yeah. All right, we're going to follow a similar path probably. It's going to end in revolt. Alright, ASW Squadron 2. That's your box. Right, it's 5 in the morning, and you probably guessed it. It's probably time to wrap up this particular episode. So we sunk a little food. We got some payment. Otherwise, not a whole lot happened in this episode. We've changed the position on our subs. So right now we have drum patrolling here. The flying fish. Are you not on a box? Evidently not. Okay, well, flying fish now is on a box, patrolling along there, and Finback is patrolling along there. So 3 different spots in the primary attack lanes that the AI uses to come after Milne, Moresby, Horn, this area down here. The Haddock, however, is heading over this way. Why? Because we were attacked over here one day. Remember we saw that fairly sizable cruiser group come in here that we had to turn away. So yeah, we're going to patrol a box in here with the Haddock looking for warships. That's a new goal of our subs. Our subs are now looking for basically heavy cruisers and light cruisers. That's their primary food that they're looking to sink at this point. If they come across a carrier, they'll certainly shoot at a carrier. But cruisers are the main food that the subs are actually tasked with looking for at this point. Why did I unpause it? Because I did. Otherwise, what's going on? Sarong is under control. Khazre is under control. We don't have any active battles going on right now. Solomon's, or not Solomon's, but Shortland Island, part of the Solomon Island chain, and Kandari are our next targets. We called off the Kandari attack today because we just didn't have the right troop to supply ratio to push it. So we're attempting to alter that. The shuttle is back here at Moresby. So what I'm doing with the shuttle is I want to manage cargo. I'm actually going to steal a little bit of the engineering here. And I'm going to haul that over to Milne, as we want to get Milne back up to snuff sooner than later. I may not, well, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, shuttle, you have your course, you have your job, you have a little bit of engineering loaded up. Invasion Force Australia is going all the way back to Tarawa. Tarawa's actually got a fair amount of troops there. Not a lot of supply, some supply. USNS Fleet 2. Manage cargo. We are in distance. Alright, so we're going to want engineering, or we're not in distance. Damn it. Well, in the next episode, no, I'm not going to wait till the, I'm going to forget at the beginning of the next episode. So what we're going to do is we're just going to roll forward a little bit here. Pause. Manage cargo. Engineering. Engineering. Supplies. Fuel. Supplies. 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 And we know where this is going. We need to get Milne back up and running. Alright, course is laid in. USNS fleet is loaded up. There should be nothing else that we have to remember here. No, there isn't. How's the dockyards coming? Still a while yet. Getting closer. 5 days on the York. And then are we going to wait for, well, we're probably going to have to wait for those destroyers because they're kind of one of their kinds destroyers. We don't have a whole lot of other options. Yeah, we'll probably wait the full time period to get this fleet fully functional. 15th, so the 25th of July is when Task Force Exeter is going to be back up and running and heading out. That's still a little bit before the Bogues come in. So 30 July is going to be a pretty exciting time for us, I think, when those Bogues start to come into theater. we're going to have basically all of these USNS fleets are going to be like mini aircraft carrier fleets. They're not exactly going to have a huge amount of strike capacity, but what they're going to do is they're going to allow us to expand our eyesight everywhere around where these guys are sailing, as they're going to have little recon elements radiating out from them, seeing a much better picture of what's around their location that they're cruising around at. And then the Darwin, we're probably going to give her a pair of bogues. So we'll have 2 bogues in the Darwin. And that should give this fleet enough air capacity to push into the Dutch East Indies, much the way that our Enterprise Task Force pushes its air power around in this area. Only truck can match it in air power, if you will. And that's not really a match. But yeah, that's where we are. We are where we are. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the episodes. And if you are, of course, please smash that like button, consider subscribing. And until the next time, all, peace.